All right, guys, our special guest for tonight is former WWE superstar, and now he's a movie star. This man does everything. John Morrison, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing good. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. Seriously, we don't get movie stars on the show very often, so we're very appreciative of you taking the time. Let's start with your movies, dude. We know you're in Dangerous Games. You're the main star of that. You're in Get Justice. You got a bunch of other movies going on. Talk to us what it's like to be in the movie business now.
It's awesome, and really professional wrestling is all about storytelling, which is pretty much exactly what movies are. So getting a chance to do all these like small independent films has it's really been something that I've been interested in my whole life. I was a film major at UC Davis, and it was something that I've known, I've known since I was a kid that I wanted to do. Between doing action movies like Jackie Chan and doing wrestling moves like Macho Man, I'm really excited to be able to do this movie thing now, and it's been a great ride for me.
And now talk about Dangerous Games. I know you're the main star of this movie. You're the main character, as opposed to you've played a bunch of smaller roles in a bunch of other movies. How do you feel about being the main star of this movie?
Well, it's really exciting. First of all, the one big thing is in Raw and SmackDown, you cut promos and you get bullet points and you paraphrase and you have to communicate your message. In movies, a lot of times you have to stick closer to the script, and a lot of times in movies the script is a fluid thing. Also, you have to make it your own a little bit. But in Dangerous Games, the one thing that was way different than wrestling was it was very dialogue heavy. The movie is kind of like Romancing the Stone, Raiders of the Lost Ark, that type of vibe. So it's like an action rom-com type thing. And being the main character of it, I had tons of lines that I had to memorize. I mean, every night I was like, holy shit, I got to memorize 6 pages of lines. But it was a really cool and interesting challenge to do that. Yeah, I mean, I think the movie is going to turn out great. The stuff that we got in the can already is amazing. We got 2 more days of pickups in late August that we're going to have to shoot to finish the whole thing. But there's some really exciting fights, some explosions, some traps. Everybody involved across the board was amazing. Eric Adabari, Joe Gatt, Michelle Taylor, the other leads of the movie, learned a lot from each and every one of them. The producers, John Smith and Shannon Shea. Shannon Shea got his start on The Predator, which he was brought in to create The Predator, and one night on set he showed this crazy behind the scenes footage on a VHS tape, they still exist, of what was going on in the jungle, and talked about every shot of Predator. And a lot of the stuff that we did in Dangerous Games was reminiscent to some of the stuff that you saw in Predator, like the huge log trap, like a tiger pit, different types of traps in the jungle that just look badass, and some explosions also. And the director, Stephen Lamort, first-time director, long-time editor, and long-time director of music videos and shorts, but first feature that he's done. He had a real knack for it. He's got a real eye for directing actors and also visual effects and action sequences. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to do with everything.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. But listen, as if you're not busy enough with doing indie wrestling, doing your movie career now, you also got Out of Your Mind Fitness, which is an intense-ass fitness routine. Talk about that. Talk about how you got into that and how that's going.
I've definitely called Out of Your Mind Fitness a lot of things, but intense-ass fitness routine is a pretty good moniker.
It's true. Listen, one of the kids on the show, Mike Chiari, is a fatty, and we made him do it, and he can't do much.
That is so nice.
He's sweating thinking about it right now. He's sweating thinking about the routine.
It is an intense ass fitness routine, but it's designed to be done by anybody at any fitness level. It starts at level 1 and works all the way up to level 5. So really, the most important thing is for the person doing Out of Your Mind Fitness, they just have to really make a commitment to themselves to want to see the program through and get in shape. After that, anyone really can use Out of Your Mind Fitness to get into the most intense ass shape of their lives. I'm just going to keep saying that phrase.
That's a good tagline.
Earlier in the show.
You're welcome, dude.
Yeah. And it's different than a lot of the other home fitness programs out there in that it's a virtual personal trainer that goes beyond what you can do at home. It's functional training, which is the bee's knees these days. It's the most time efficient way, basically, to get in shape. Functional training is taking over. Everyone's getting more and more into it, and what it does is, instead of isolating a muscle group, you're doing a lot of dynamic movements that are recruiting multiple muscle groups to perform said exercise. So instead of just isolating your biceps, you're hitting a quadruped push-up. You're using your chest, your shoulder, your tricep, recruiting your whole core, keeping that engaged, your hip flexor, your quad, and you're primarily working your chest and shoulder. But this is just an example. But you're hitting your whole body at once. And the idea of hitting your whole body at once with primary, secondary, tertiary muscle groups, recruiting the most muscle fibers possible per exercise, is what makes Out of Your Mind Fitness so time efficient.
Yeah, we did try it, and it is really it's an intense ass fitness routine. We'll say it one more time, drive that home to people. But it works. It's really
it
awesome.
Sounds like a way better version of the Jeff Hardy fitness app.
Is there a Jeff Hardy fitness app?
Yeah, there's a Jeff Hardy.
TNA, yes, there is.
Yeah, yep.
I didn't know that. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's just him squatting down and sitting on chairs and eating Cheetos, but I'm not sure.
If it's him, well, I don't know. Maybe it's him like riding his dirt bike and jumping over bikes in the backyard. I don't know. If that's it, I'm gonna check it out.
It's just him painting his face. We're all gonna be disappointed when we download it. It's just him painting his face.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna check it out.
Mikey, all right, go ahead, man.
Yeah, John, kind of switching gears to your wrestling career. It seems like you left WWE on really good terms, and the overall impression among wrestling fans seems to be that the door is kind of open for return at some point. And obviously, since leaving, you've done the indie wrestling thing. You've been doing some movies. But are you interested in a return? I mean, is there anything imminent, or are you still kind of taking a wait-and-see approach as far as that goes?
I mean, honestly, my impression is the door is open also. And, I originally got into wrestling because it was my first love when I was a kid, a little kid. It's what I wanted to do. And I still haven't found anything quite as cool as wrestling. It's like everything all at once. I mean, in a movie, and I'm really excited to see how Dangerous Games turns out. But just that statement in and of itself, I can't wait to see how it turns out. It's different than like when you're wrestling at WrestleMania. You know how your match is going. You know how your match went immediately. You get instant gratification. You get to feel the emotion coming off of you and rebounding off the fans in attendance immediately. And it's a really awesome experience. There's nothing like it. And it's something that I'm definitely going to get back to. The other part of your question, when is it imminent? I don't know. I'm just shuffling through a bunch of different things. I have a couple of things I want to accomplish in the movie biz before I get back to wrestling full time. Because once you're on that full time schedule, you don't really have much control of your own time, which is too bad. But I am definitely coming back at some point.
BG?
Yeah, John. Obviously you use Out of Your Mind Fitness, and you've been into parkour and coming in starting with Tough Enough. You always saw on display your immense athleticism, and you're responsible for some of the most jaw-dropping spots in WWE wrestling history in general. Do other wrestlers or bookers help you plan the type of spots you do, or are these all your ideas?
Wrestling is almost always a collaboration. So I'll say the same for any wrestler worth the salt. I go into every match, and depending on who I'm wrestling and the type of match, aka Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, Falls Count Anywhere, hardcore match, street fight, I come in with a whole bunch of ideas. And my ideas range from like, oh, that's pretty cool, like we could probably do that, to like, what? Starship Pain off like the upper balcony down below a broad course? Are you crazy? So I come in with a broad spectrum of ideas and talk to the person that I'm working with primarily first, because ultimately it's me and that guy in the ring. And if both of us aren't on the same page, then no matter how good the idea is, it's not going to work. So I bounce all my ideas off whoever that is. They'll bounce all their ideas off me. And a lot of times I'll find I come in with what I think is like the best idea in history, just to bounce it off somebody like Ziggler or Ryder or Sheamus, and they'll make a few small tweaks to make that idea even better. And and the same can be said for agents. Sid Finley, Arn Anderson, Dean Malenko, Ricky Steamboat, Mike Hayes, all those guys. Everyone is collaborating, and everyone's trying to get the coolest match, the most innovative, best story they can out there. So what you're seeing is the result of a collaboration.
All right. Well, I got a question for you. Ready for this? You're in the movies now. You just said, you're starring in a feature film now. Now, when you come back to wrestling, how do you think that portraying in movies and stuff, how do you think that's going to affect your promo work? You think you're going to come back and it's going to be like, wow, this promo works a lot easier, or is it a totally different thing?
Oh, it's I think my promo work has already improved drastically, and it's acting is like a specific skill set that's different from pro wrestling, but ultimately it all boils down to storytelling. That is what entertainment is. It's storytelling and making people feel what you're feeling. And acting is something that I realized that I wish I had started doing seriously 10 years ago. And now I think I've got that skill set, and that's been developed. And I've spent so much time working on parkour and high spots and crazy moves, because that's what I loved to watch when I was a kid, that I didn't spend as much time working on that part of my game. But now that I have been really focusing on it, I feel like it's gonna be a huge benefit to me to have that. And I think my promo skills are gonna be through the roof when I get back.